Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well on this fine morning. My name is Cadet Birkenbuel, and I'll be your PL for this brief. Your other key leaders will be your platoon sergeant, your RTO, medic, the Assault 1 squad leader, the Assault 2 squad leader, the support squad leader, and the security squad leader. Unfortunately, they were not able to make it today, so I'll be briefing their parts. Our mission for today will be that Alpha Platoon is going to conduct an attack in AO Eagle Cliff South on Western Objective 2, coordinates 049er0 4262, no later than 1650, 19th of April, 2020, in order to prevent enemy forces from gaining momentum and swaying public opinion. I repeat, our mission is to conduct an attack in AO Eagle Cliff South on Western Objective 2, coordinates 049er0 4262, no later than 1650 on the 19th of April, 2020, in order to prevent enemy forces from gaining momentum and swaying public opinion. The purpose of this mission is to deny anti-coalition forces their freedom of maneuver, and then confirm and deny any PIR and not become detected or engaged by enemy forces. I have a very simple leader's intent. Alpha Platoon will use active force to prevent anti-coalition militants their freedom of maneuver. We must deploy and defeat the enemy through discipline and persistent application of our capabilities. We must secure decisive terrain and prevent access for enemy support in order to deprive enemy of any and all resources. We need to gain information to deceive and divert the enemy so we can avoid detection of enemy forces. We need to collect all PIR and not become decisively engaged, as per Commander's intent. Following the attack, Alpha Platoon will set the conditions for future successful operations and be prepared to conduct follow-on missions. The end state is that Alpha Platoon is prepared to attack and disrupt enemy operations in AO Eagle Cliff South and set the conditions for future operations. All four enemy forces on Western Objective 2 are to be killed or captured. All enemy MC nodes and cache sites are to be secured. Alpha Platoon will consolidate on the FOB with no casualties and be prepared to prepare for follow-on missions. We will accomplish the commander's intent by conducting an attack. Decisive to the operation is the attack of Western Objective 2. This will be a 4-stage operation. Phase 1 will be establish the FOB and the ORP. Phase 2 will be the leader's recon. Phase 3 will be the attack. And Phase 4 will be to consolidate and reorganize and then be prepared to conduct follow-on operations. So Assault 1 will be my primary aid in the litter and secondary EPW, and the first in order of movement. Their purpose will be to attack and seize cache sites, and then transition to hasty 360-degree defense following our attack. Assault 2 will be my primary EPW and secondary aid and litter, and will be the second in order of movement. Their purpose will be prepared to assume Assault 1's mission in case something happens. My support element will be the third in the order of movement, and their purpose will be to establish blocking position and then report when set. And then finally, my security element will be set in place prior to the attack during the leader's recon. The op order is effective time now for 12:14. Are there any questions at this time? If there are no questions, I'm going to go into the timeline. So phase 1 is going to be establishing the FOB and the ORP. So our first phase is going to be establishing the FOB and the ORP. Alpha Platoon will occupy the FOB no later than 1530. We will step off on the from the FOB, moving toward our ORP, toward our objective, and we're going to halt around 200 meters from the objective to establish our ORP. Once the ORP has 360 security, we will go into phase 2. Phase 2 is the leader's recon. Leader's recon will begin no later than 1550. Leader's recon will be myself, RTO, security squad, and all of the SLs. So that's Assault 1, Assault 2, security, and support. I'll leave the GOTWA with a platoon sergeant who will then count us out to make sure that whenever we come back, we still have as many people as we did beforehand. While we conduct the leader's recon, the PSG will be making sure that those that are staying behind are good and understand their roles in the mission. I want to be very clear that PSG should be going around and assigning tasks to the team leaders and make sure that everyone has complete understanding of what's going on. The GOTWA was maybe doing some rehearsals too. On the leader's recon, we're going to establish a rally point about 100 meters from the ORP. Once we get eyes on the objective, I will place a security squad here and here. And you can see on the map. We will establish the assault and support lines in an L shape, like this. I will leave a GOTWA with the security squad leader, who will stay behind with the security elements before the rest of the leaders recon returns to the ORP to get everyone else. After that, we'll be moving into Phase 3. Phase 3 is the beginning of the attack. So Alpha Platoon will move toward the objective no later than 16:20. Everybody's going to be placed in their respective lines by their squad leaders. Once in position, the platoon sergeant on the support line will initiate fire no later than 16:45. I'll be with the assaulting element, and once support has initiated fire, Assault 1 and Assault 2 are going to start moving through the objective. I will indicate shift fire with 2 long whistle blasts and lift fire with 3 short whistle blasts. Once Assault has moved through the objective and support has called last man, I'm going to call LOA. Support will then move through until they call their LOA. At this time, team leaders will get lace reports and our specialty teams are going to be called in. Remember, be on the lookout for any PIRs or info on that high-value target as mentioned in the commander's intent. If we have casualties, the platoon sergeant will call for a 9-line medevac, and we'll get that situated. During this time, we'll be establishing 360 security before moving into Phase 4. We will be on the objective no longer than 10 minutes after we initiate the attack, as the enemy forces can arrive within 15 to 20 minutes. Alpha Platoon will move off the objective no later than 1700 and move back toward the fob. Alright, are there any questions at this time before I move on? I'm just going to assume there's not because I'm talking to a computer. Great. Alright, PIR. So this is what we're going to be looking for. The composition and capabilities of the enemy's weapons, so like how the size of it, their weapons, and the capabilities of their weapons and equipment on the suspected MC node site. We also need information on the uniform and the description of the enemy combatants, as well as to confirm or deny any overhead structures, automatic weapons, any seaborne threats, or if there's a visual contact of the high-value target. If in the rare case that we have a media engagement, you should mention that the U.S. forces are here to support the cause of freedom and democracy around the world. Any civilians who have been threatened by enemy forces will be protected if they help us locate them. The phrase "boomer sooner" also has a very positive effect on the local civilians, so try and sprinkle that in there when you talk with them. Try not to, just do not stray from these talking points, as the local media tends to manipulate words. We don't need any bad publicity, nor do we need to give the locals any reason to be wary or fear us. As far as required reports go, they include the starting point, the line of departure, salute reports upon enemy contact, lace reports upon consolidation, a 9-line medevac if it's required, and then general sit reps as required or requested. The time is now 12:20. Do I have any questions?